Thanks for joining us today on this Facebook Live with Sasha Sabbath. I am so happy to have her here today. Um, we've just been experiencing some unprecedented times, and I'm off launching a lot of Facebook Lives. This is a new quarter for me, and I want to get out there and share some fabulous news with my audience. And I have some fabulous guests in my last quarter here. So I'm going to start it off with Sasha, and I just want to introduce herself today. I know we did get started a few minutes late, and so if you're just joining, please let us know who you are and where you're from. And also, why don't you type in one thing that you might be dealing with lately that might be causing you some anxiety, being you pulled away from your true purpose in life, your soul purpose, and we'll maybe help you address those today, because we're all feeling it. These
Great
are
idea.
unprecedented times in in the unknown. We don't know everything about this virus that's going on. We're in some turmoil as far as changes in the world. So we're here to help with that today and talk about it. But I want to introduce Sasha. Sasha Sabbath is an internationally recognized as a soul purpose expert, a master sound and energy healer, a spiritual business coach, and the entrepreneur's intuition and purpose soul coach healer. With over 30 years of experience, she works with her audience, students, and clients to remove the blocks of their success. She helps them accelerate their intuition access, claiming a deeper embodiment of their soul purpose, igniting their creative genius for soul-sourced solutions. And I am one that, and welcome, Sasha.
Hi. That was a mouthful. Good job.
Well, thanks. Yeah. My memory is, I have to rely on
notes. Hey, notes are absolutely the right thing. We can just hold so much up here. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Notes are our friends.
Okay. Yes. And I too believe in the creative genius of everybody. And I teach that, we all have a creative genius inside of us, and we have to, pursue that. And so we can live a full and happy life. So today, Sasha is going to talk to us about clarifying and claiming your soul purpose driven success. And I know we're all after, really, if we have goals and we get up in the morning and we're excited about life, we all have goals and a purpose, and sometimes that anxiety can block us and get in our way. So I want Sasha's going to talk to us about this and maybe give us some tips on how to remove some of this and get to and I don't know, she's got it. So Sasha, take it away.
Okay. Well, I'll pick up on the theme of the importance of soul purpose and the whole presence right now of the uncertainty, the anxiety, etc. Right. The basic thing that I want people to understand, that soul purpose is not mystical in terms of what is it and what isn't it. However, it is very mystical in terms of it being a road that your soul travels in a lifetime, in this lifetime, to accomplish very specific opportunities, experiences, and outcomes. And what I want people to understand about soul purpose is that soul purpose is both a power and it is a path. It is a power in that when you hook into the certainty and you really claim it, and you find the courage and the clarity and the creativity and the commitment to live your soul purpose, you are unstoppable. And you also are able to fend off the various things that life can throw us that may not feel so comfortable, that may be painful. And at the same time, tapping into the power of one's soul purpose gives us a radiance, gives us a joy of life, gives us a fuel, like a rocket fuel push to create and contribute and make an impact on both people's lives, other species' lives, the environment. So essentially, understanding and claiming your soul purpose path gives you a reason why. It gives you a power to. It gives you the motivation so that nothing really gets in your way. So that's what I really want people to come away with. My ideal and my intention and my idea is for people to come away from this interview thinking, okay, what is the next thing that I need to explore about my soul purpose path? And essentially what you're looking at when you are doing your own self-inventory, and of course I work with my clients and students and audiences on getting clear and clearing the block so that you can claim your soul purpose. What essentially it comes down to is the experiences that your soul wanted to have in this lifetime and the lessons that the soul wanted the personality self to learn in this lifetime, and also the profound elixir of connecting to the divine power of one's soul as we go through a lifetime. So essentially, the personality is waking up to the relationship of the soul that is with us. And the soul purpose path is that interweaving communication and guidance and choice of what do we do with our time? What do we do with our passions? What do we do with our life? And when you get that clarity, life becomes so much simpler. Not easy. I'm not saying that life is easy because we know that that's just not true. However, it can be filled with greater richnesses, riches, and rich experiences. So that's
Yeah.
out of the chute what I want to say.
Okay, yeah, yeah. And I feel like you're telling us too that life can be joyful. You know, it may not be totally perfect, but we can have a joyful life if we connect with our soul and our divine purpose. How would you take somebody through this process? Like, what would be the first step that you would work with, Sasha?
Well, I have a protocol when people hire me for this, and it is an establishing an understanding of what I call going from one's wound to one's sacred wound. So, what that means is here we are when we reflect to answer your question. The first place that I typically look with people is what's immediately going on in their life that they need to address. So we get very pragmatic, very grounded, like nothing airy fairy, but like what's going on and how do we deal with it from a soul purpose path perspective. So I use my psychic skills and I use my energy skills, and we peel away the layers of what is the static, what is the noise, so that we can see underneath what are the real nugget core issues at play. And typically what one will see is a pattern that they have experienced throughout their life. And so we sort of hook that pattern like with a crochet hook, and we pull it up into conscious awareness. And we then see how can mastering that, nurturing that, healing that, up leveling that, upgrading that, how can that lead to greater success? Success if you're a business owner, success if you just want to have greater peace in your household, success in terms of wanting to contribute to what's going on in the country and in the world right now to help to make it a better place, to make it a saner and more thriving and more humanity-based place. And all of these things come from you looking at where you have been and what you have learned, what you have mastered, not only what you have studied in terms of skills and tools and paradigms, but what you as a personality, character, person with values and standards have as a mission. And so we talk about the gifts that you already came into this lifetime with, the gifts that you want to maximize, the skills that will complement those gifts, And what is it that you long to do in this lifetime, in addition to making money? Now, in my case, my mission and my path is as a business owner. So money for me is directly, immediately connected to why I'm here in this lifetime and so on. But not everybody's path is that. Some people have to have another auxiliary job, and that's fine. The key is how to hold yourself as somebody who has a deep understanding of what they must do in this lifetime, who they must be, and to weather whatever storms comes their way, and also to hook on and enjoy the ride for the opportunities and the wonderful possibilities that are also part of the journey.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I know you are highly trained in many different, I don't know if you would call them even some alternative health methods. And do you find any of those one more effective than another? Or
Whoa.
do you? Yeah, maybe that's
Uh-oh.
not a good question. Yeah.
I seriously, I don't quite. What? Tell me. Say it again. What the question is? I will. I
Mhm.
will. I will say this. I think I get the essence of what you're asking. There is absolutely room and a need for both sides of the camp when it comes to healing. The quintessential Western medicine and the quintessential alternative auxiliary approaches to healing. And so that's all I can say about that. Now, as far as what's going to accelerate the efficiency and the efficacy of, let's say, the standard mainstream approach to healing, is that of energy healing, which I am also an energy healer, as you mentioned. And so, if you can just imagine, let me think of a good example. If we're talking about healing and we're talking about pain control and we're talking about better functionality, knowing how to work with energy, knowing how to clear like a energy hygiene on oneself is absolutely equal to whether or not you take a shower every day or whether or not you bathe your body every day, because energy surrounds you, the body, the human self, all the time. That's obvious. What is not so obvious, what people are learning more and more now, is that we take on thought forms and emotions. When things happen, whether they directly involve us or not, meaning a conversation, it doesn't have to be a direct conversation. You can walk into a room and be privy to something, and it's going to impact you. So if people understand that they are being impacted left, right, and center all day, every day, maybe even while they're asleep, and to learn how to take that impact and apply very specific energetic strategies, how to clear your energy, how to activate your energy, how to pull out cords and ways that people, places, and circumstances are actually draining your energy, how to heal the damage done when you've had a traumatic experience. Traumatic experience could be a really bad argument with somebody. I mean, you know how you feel when you have an argument with someone. It doesn't feel good on an emotional and psychological level. And it's also some kind of a rewiring has happened in the energy field that needs to be revisited and upgraded and healed so that the person can come back to center and who they really are. So is that, I think that might be kind of addressing the essence of what you're asking. Yeah, would you say?
Yes, I think so. I did notice in your biography that you have taken on a lot of different techniques in the healing realm. And I understand some of those because being a physical therapist, I've been exposed to, some of the alternatives,
Yeah,
which are wonderful because
yeah.
like you said, and you really can't heal physically if you don't heal mentally. So I do understand very much where you're coming from there. I didn't know if you would recommend any as more highly specific, and also in that same kind of a note or a tone, what would you, if somebody just wants to start small, or take on one technique that might help them with their energy level, or like even a mindset,
Yeah.
because I know we all have to have a mindset, so we don't take in, and even as a therapist working with patient after patient after patient, sometimes you'll notice that you're taking on all their sadness or their pain, or you want to help them more and you can't. And that was one of the things that might have even burned me out a few times, was that I would maybe be too empathetic with a patient, or think I could do more than I actually could, and I put that on myself, and that took away a lot of my energy.
Good for
So
you. Good for you that you realized that.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, and so I know, I would even like to hear about, like, maybe there's a mindset method, or some method that you could give us today, so that we can actually get started immediately with, having a better mindset, and getting to that clarity a little bit faster.
Yeah. Okay. A couple of things about that. Mindset. Let's go there first, because your question of me, I have a two-part answer. The mindset piece, I would say, would be to have the belief that, let me just tune in for a second here. Here you are, you're dealing with patients, clients, customers, or just experiencing something really radical in life that is not necessarily part of a profession or your circle of friends. I would say that a really core belief right now that's very important is to believe that everyone has their path, that they want to travel. And we can only facilitate that which is under our control. And after that, we have to remember everyone has their path that they want to travel. And there is a point where it's hands off for us. And all we can do is lovingly hold the space through our intentions, maybe our visualizations. I'll say a little bit about that in a second, so that a person can find their own North Star, their own call to the highest path for themselves, that they find it, that they want to find it. Some people don't. Some people on a deep level have given up because things are whatever, hard. Other people, when things get hard, they get cracking. They say, not me. I'm going to get this. They're not going to give up. And so if we, as the facilitator, we the caregiver, we the friend, we the mentor, guide, hold in our consciousness silently, this person in front of me, this group in front of me has their own path. And I am here to hold the space that they find the highest expression of that path. However, I must let go at some point. So that's that on a mindset. Does that make sense? Just that alone? Okay, then now we move to the energetics part about taking on the sorrow. And now that you've told me that, now I'm really going to talk to you about stuff after this is over. Well, here, my free offer is for people to come into my private Facebook group, and you're going to put the link. However, in the meantime, the name of that group is called Light Leader Power for Success and Mission Impact. And in there is the units section. And in the unit section, there is unit number 14 and unit number 15. The exercise that I feel is really important for people is that of grounding and releasing energies that we do not want. Those energies could be born of ourselves. We have a belief, or we've just said something that we wish we hadn't. It's also taking on other people's experiences. And if we're an empath and a sensitive, which clearly you are, And especially for people who are caregivers, whether they think they're empaths or not, they've got some kind of empathy, or they shouldn't be in that business. You know, there needs to be some sort of a caring and wanting to get to the depth of what that person is experiencing so that they can really help. So cycling back to what I'm saying, in Unit 15 and Unit 14, I believe that it's Unit 14, which is called Radical Soul Expansion and Success. Day 2 is a very thorough energetic cleansing and grounding technique. Day 3 of that same unit, Unit 14, is about how to create the energetic vibration, the energetic inner experience of that which we want. So we are feeding, programming, igniting, activating an experience within ourselves as if our outer world is already delivering it. That is the power of intention. That is the power of the mind. And when you hold that vibration and you practice imagining that you already have it, whatever the it is, already, you start to vibrate. My body's going back and forth here. Mm-hmm. You start to vibrate a magnetic pull, like a magnet. And you start impacting the creative life force that surrounds us. And you then magically create the people, places, and circumstances that will bring that possibility into physical 3D palpable reality. If it's on your soul purpose path, and that's a whole other conversation. But basically, if a person has taken on a whole bunch of stuff that's not their own, as well as them having reactions to something, emotions and thoughts that are their own, the way in which to check into how to manage one's energy state is by doing these exercises that I mentioned on day 2 and day 3. That's Unit 14 in my private Facebook group. Now, in the meantime, here is the concept, because we can't take the time to walk through it right now. Is to imagine that you have what's called a grounding cord. I'm sure a lot of people have at least heard that. A grounding cord, like a cylinder of light that attaches to the base of your spine and goes deep into the earth. It's totally your imagination. And by the way, the imagination is the doorway between psychic, intuitive, invisible truth and your conscious awareness. It is through the 5 senses of imagination: hear, see, feel, taste, touch, smell. Now, when you have this grounding cord, just imagine that it's like a dumpster chute or a laundry chute or something that acts like a tube through which something travels. And what you're going to do is send the experiences, the emotions, the impact, the things that you want to let go of, the things that you want to have flushed out of your system, go down that grounding cord, and it goes deep into the earth. And you make the declaration ahead of time. People will have to listen to this replay. You make the declaration ahead of time that whatever is released from you actually nurtures the earth. So it isn't like you're toxifying the earth with your debris. So you set up the intention that I'm going to release things that do not serve me. I'm going to set up my grounding cord. And it's nothing fancy. It's just imagine like a big slinky or a big car conduit attached at the base of your spine that is the width of your hips, that goes deep into the earth. And as soon as whatever you send down that grounding cord hits the earth, it becomes transmuted into energies that nurture the earth. So that's the release part. But then you got this vacuum. And if you don't fill up that vacuum, it's going to suck it all right back again. So you imagine that there is a ball of light right above your head. And this is the symbol of the God force that is near you, the God force that is actually in you, in your energy matrix. And this ball of light is filled with divine energy, God's love and light. This is a religion-free zone, folks. God's love and light. And then this ball of light actually has a little aperture at the very base. And that opens up and you get filled with this beautiful elixir of God's love and light that fills the vacuum of all the stuff you just let go of. Now, if a person can just grab onto that, so that when they're in a tough situation or all of a sudden they're not feeling happy, something has happened, they know that something's going on. They may not remember what happened, but they know now in the moment, this is not the way they want to feel. All they have to do is just quickly, 3 steps. It's going to nurture Mother Earth. I got this grounding cord. I got this ball of light. Go. and,
Yeah.
and you will set up an activity that will start changing the vibration and the way you feel and filling yourself up with what really is life affirming and love. So, how's that?
Yeah, that is wonderful. Yeah, I love that. It's something simple and it's something you can do and get in the practice of. And yeah, it's that letting go. And I love the vacuum thing. I haven't heard of that, but yeah, there's going to be a piece missing, even if it was a dysfunctional piece, it's still a piece. So if you're
Yes.
getting rid of that dysfunction, you want to fill it up with something functional and the light. And I do believe too, in the light of God and just bringing that in. And that's what I would bring in my religion, my faith.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The light
Yes.
of God, the love of God, the Holy Spirit. Absolutely.
Yes, yeah. No, that's Sasha, that's perfect. I love that exercise. Yes. And I think the more we do it, and like you said, do it, get faster at it, and it becomes that helps with our mindset also. And just knowing we have a tool that we can use, because sometimes these feelings can be overwhelming, and they can
Definitely.
really, yeah, they shut us down. And
Yes. Yes.
yes, and I
Yes.
and I know, and I'm pivoting into a whole different space now. And as I pivot, there's a lot of things I don't know, and so I can question myself, and I can get into this negativity, and all of a sudden I'm shutting down. And I think that, the more tools I have to use to, get over some of these little glitches that I have in getting where I'm going, that's going to help me because I know I can get there, but it's going to be a matter of getting there maybe even a little quicker because I don't want to spend forever at this and I want to get there quicker and I want to get going, so that's a great tool. That is a great tool to use.
Well, the things that you've said are really helpful for people to hear because I am sure whether they're starting a new business or not, with all of what's happening just on the health stage, just on the racial and social issues, just on it here in the United States, this huge transition as we move towards an election. All of that stirs up feelings and thoughts and inner experiences. And all of that affects how we function in the outer world, in our jobs, in our families, how we treat ourselves. And so the ability to identify that we are not feeling the way we want to feel, and then to use the power of choice that lives within all of us. We all have free will. Nothing is a fully written in stone reality. Yes, it's written in stone that, let's say I'm a woman, but hey, I could change that if I wanted to do something like that. So, but the point is that even something that seems fixed might not be so fixed. And it starts with our choice. So as you are pivoting into your new business, you said something very important. You said a belief. You said, I know I can, or some such wording.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Mm-hmm.
is where people have to start. They have to start and say, I know I can. I don't know how yet, but I know I can. So that was one thing I really want to highlight about what you just said. The other thing I want to highlight about what you just said is that the image to use is when we are mired in thoughts and emotions and energetic crusting, encrusted with energetics that are invisible. Just imagine what it's like when you haven't taken a shower for a few days. That's what it's like. Your energy field becomes bogged down and compromised. And you know that when you take a shower, you feel much better. Well, when you feel much better, you're able to do things more effectively and faster. It's the same thing with calling upon the God force within. It's the same thing as clearing out your energy field and then filling yourself up with light. And it's the same thing as saying to yourself, I have power. I have the power to choose. Maybe I can't change this situation right away. God knows I feel that way every day when I look at the news right now. What I do know is that I can change the moment. I can change the moment for myself. And that moment affects my cats. I have a household of cats. It affects whoever I talk to on the phone. It could be a creditor. It could be a friend. It all is energy, and how we impact people is carried out. And right now, I feel we all have a responsibility to be the highest vibration, focusing on the most positive, the blessings we have, what is working in our life, so that we can help the whole. We are that grain of sand, and lots of grains of sand create a really beautiful beach. And that's what we're doing right now, is hopefully we're working on building a really beautiful beach, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah. Yeah, that just gave me another idea too for myself is I need to do this periodically through the day. You know, it's not just once or like once every 3 days. I need to do this, every day, but even periodically during the day. You know, sometimes I try to take out a little time for meditation, and that's where I can get my body totally relaxed. And I feel a lot of vibration when I meditate. And there is vibration in our body. I know as a physical therapist, we vibrate, but we stop the vibration with our thoughts and with our with our patterns. So that's where I kind of help myself, is with meditation
Great.
and prayer. Yeah, that's
Beautiful.
and yeah, and I think I'm going to ramp that up several times a day, maybe 3 minutes 4 times a day, so that I can continue to clear, and be more focused. And because I've been dealing with that lately, the lack of focus, and just my mind's on a million different things right now. With things,
Well,
things in the world, and
yeah, things in the world and things in your world. We're all facing that right now.
mm,
I really don't care where we are on the spectrum of industry or income or anything. I think now is a good time for me to bring up the paid offer because of what you just said. Are we okay to do that right now?
oh, sure, yes.
You mentioned clearing several times a day. Well, one of the things that we wanted to make sure that I mentioned to your people here is I do have a very low cost paid offer as well. So we've got this free opportunity for people to enrich and empower themselves and up their psychic intuitive skills, up their purpose and mission understanding by coming into the private Facebook group. And for those who really want to get much more accomplished at clearing their energy field and getting close and in clear contact with their intuition, that communication between their highest truth and their conscious mind, I have this paid offer, and it's called Unleash Your Success Intuition Power. Unleash Your Success Intuition Power. And people will have the link. However, for people who might not be able to see this, the description, you go to entrepreneursoulcoach.com/blog/mini course offer. Now, what this is 5 video trainings. They're about 20 minutes each, that is going to walk a person through how to set a sacred space in any environment or just in their mind. So if things are really rough and challenging, they can condition their mind to go immediately to that sacred space within. Now, day 2 is the one that I was thinking of for you, because that is the one that's called Clear the Way. That is the one that has that exercise, which is similar to the one that I've taught you all here right now. It has a little extra something different in this one. On day 2, it is knowing how to just go into that space for just a moment and do a few things to clear out the noise, the static, the debris, and then come right back to your goal, your intention, and where you're headed. And at the end of this training, this 5 video training, you will know how to recognize your intuition and how to ask questions of your intuition so you can get answers, what I call on demand. It's only $37. And if people go and take this training seriously, they can use it on a day-to-day basis, moment-to-moment basis, and be calmer, clearer, more creative, more successful, and it will impact improving your income, your relationships, and your health. So day 2, Teresa.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I did get to day 1.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was telling Sasha it was very helpful to know that I need to set up my environment a little bit different, to be a little more, have a little more positive energy in it. So yeah, that is awesome. And yeah, I don't know if you have any last tips. I know that Sasha does also have a free giveaway as far as some consulting. And unless there's any other tips you want to give today, or we could go right into that.
Well, the main tip right now is for people to take a moment and recommit to the vision of the life they want to lead. That means, what is the kind of person they want to be? What is the one value that they want to have as their driving force? One value. Mine is freedom. Other people, everybody has their own. Choose one value that you want to have drive your life, and to recommit to the highest vision of the life you want to lead, even if it looks impossible. Just hold on to it and just keep taking baby steps. That's my tip on that. As far as the no-cost consultation, yes. Now, when people do get this paid offer, the mini course offer, normally that comes automatically with a 30-minute time with me on the phone or Zoom, whatever, so that I can help customize that little program for their immediate needs. So it's not academic, it's hands-on. I need it now. What do I do? That kind of thing. With people who come to get this program through you and watching this replay connected to you, Teresa, they will get a full hour with me. And with that, that's a $600 value. And with that hour, people will know what is a key area, a key block, a key issue, a real, true root understanding of what's holding up the works, what's slowing people down, what's keeping them in a procrastination, sabotage, I know what to do, but I'm not doing it mode. And then we will put together an action plan using this particular offer of these trainings. Now, for people who don't want that offer, excuse me, if they come into the private Facebook group and they work with what's going on in the group, they can easily get coaching from me in this group, depending upon what it is. So coming into the group is not only filled with an archive library of very powerful information, but it also gives people a chance to interact with me and ask me questions. So that's what I have to offer on the no cost side and on the low cost side.
Okay. Thank you, Sasha. Yeah, terrific offers today. And I took advantage of that low pay 5 video session, and it's well worth it. Well worth it. And I just want to mention before we get off here that because I think that this will help my audience so much as caregivers, because we're just overwhelmed with stress, and what stress does to our bodies and brains is terrible. And the rate of excuse me, the rate of dementia is increasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just day by day, it's just increasing. Every 3 seconds, somebody globally is diagnosed with dementia. And if you can even think of the quality of life issues, that's one horrible thing. But also the economic issues, even 10 to 20 years from now. And things will, that will definitely have an effect on even, like, say, like our children, or, who's going to take care of us. There may not be any people that are working in healthcare to the extent that there is now. Just what I'm saying, it will be a drain. We need to take care of ourselves. Sasha has these great tips to clear your energy, claim and clarify your soul purpose driven success. And I think that will help my people too. And this is my book. I'd like to hold it up because
Yes.
yes, it's got a light vector. So it's The Art of Assisting Aging Parents. And the light vector is there because I want people to shine a light on caregiving.
Yeah.
There's so much negativity goes around caregiving because we think it's such a chore. But I give people a method to take away some of that burden and some of the, and some of it's even perceived burden. And we can change that. We can change our mindset around caregiving to live a joyful and vibrant life with those we love. So thank you, Sasha, for shedding a light on that today for my my audience also. And I think just wrapping it up, I think we got a lot of good advice today from Sasha. Ways to get rid of the kind of the baggage and the stuff we don't want to be carrying this around. Get rid of it. Fill it up with the light and the love, and try to carry on from there to get that soul purpose driven success. So I want to thank you for being here, Sasha. It's been wonderful.
Well, thank you for having me. And I feel so honored that I'm the first speaker to kick off your soul purpose contribution, which is to help people in this domain. And the fact that it's a Facebook Live, it just becomes more real because people can see us, they can hear us, they can feel us, and therefore be more likely to act on their behalf from what we're saying.
That is a wonderful point. It really is. And that's what it takes. It takes action. It really does. You can't keep it, up here forever. You just have to step into action. I'm going to be posting Sasha's information in this Facebook Live feed here and chat. And so you'll have all the information that you need to contact her and get going with some of these programs if you so desire. And if you don't, take away that first step, maybe join her Facebook group and just get into this little by little, because this is all about just being a better person, being happier, being more free. And that's why we're here. This is for you. This is for you to have the happiness, joyfulness, and the life that you were kind of destined to live. So we all want to get about that business of living the best life we can. So we will sign off, and everybody have a great day.
Bye, everybody. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Teresa.
Thank
Bye.
you.